Welcome to my channel and to Sewing Made Easy. In my today's video I would like to show you how I do a blind vent in a sleeve with a zipper that obviously, as it's a blind vent, got no function. I had this idea to do this because the material is quite heavy with the colors, and I was thinking, what extra point could I put onto it to really make it look different and nice. So I had this idea for my sleeve to put this vent in with a zipper, and I will decorate it especially with some rhinestones. So if you like it what it looks like, because that you can see right here already, then you should stay online. You should stay tuned, because I will start right now to show it to you step by step. Here we go. My recommendation for this sleeve is to use a small sleeve pattern where you already decide exactly the length your finished sleeve should be and add on the bottom only 1 centimeter seam allowance. And for your hem, you cut an extra piece of material in the length of the bottom of your sleeve in about 4 centimeter width. Now you take the zipper of your choice. The length does not matter. That is your decision, what you would like. Then mark the middle of the bottom of your sleeve. Put the zipper exactly on that middle position, and also at the end of your zipper, mark the middle of the sleeve from left to right. Put your zipper in the position on the bottom that you know you have exactly 1 centimeter also of the zipper ending for the seam allowance, and then go to the top and mark where the ending of your zipper is. Now in my position you can see I put already 2 marks there, and I already prepared a small piece of material where I ironed some interfacing in the middle on, because I need this to make a hole now in my sleeve. Therefore, I position this little piece of material exactly on top of my 2 dots that I just made for the marking for the zipper. And I put this slip of material on the right side. And now you can see I stitched between my 2 points that I made left and right from the zipper. I stitched once with a very small stitch all the way around to be able to cut this hole open now, as if you would be making a pocket actually. It's very similar to that. So you cut this exactly in the middle open now towards the last stitch you got at the end where you turned over. But make sure not to cut through the thread. And then you pull this little piece of material over to the left side, and your hole for the zipper is finished. And on this side, in my material, you can hardly not see the hole. And even on the left side, it looks tidy, as you can see. So now I take my zipper with the ending, and I push this ending inside the hole I just created. Then I position it exactly in the width how I want it to look, as if it's been opened. Maybe fasten it for some pins and go to my sewing machine and stitch it on the edge of the zipper on the left and the right side. As soon as that job is done, I will take my sleeves, go to my Janome, my household sewing machine, and I will stitch the rhinestones on. Therefore, I'm using a beading foot, which you probably all know or have already for your sewing machine. In case if you want to get one, make sure it fits with your sewing machine. And then I have to do a test with the widths of my rhinestones or pearls or whatever you want to stitch on, which zigzag width and which length of your stitches you got to put on the settings on your machine. So I prepared all that so I can directly start now with my sewing. I start with doing my back stitches on the beginning on the zipper before I put my rhinestones underneath the foot, because I do not want to stitch them down on the 1st centimeter, which will be later on my seam allowance. So after I've done my back stitching, I put the needle on the right side. Then I take my rhinestone from the left side
and lift it underneath the foot. I pull the rhinestones slightly out the back out because you got to hold them, because the machine got to start to grip them. But those 3-4 stones I later cut off because they're not been stitched on, so that suits me very much. Then I have my foot running exactly on the left side on the zipper teeth, because that is my guide practically, and it makes it very easy therefore to stitch the rhinestones now all the way to the top on. And I like to mention the yarn color to you as well. Of course, if you do have a transparent yarn, that is in general the best to use. But unfortunately, I have made the experience that transparent yarn likes to rip, and especially if the needle maybe touches some of the sharp edges of the rhinestone, this could easily happen. So therefore, I'm not using a transparent one. I'm using, in this particular case, as I'm stitching on a black colored material on the zipper in this case, so I got a very thin yarn on the top in the black color. And you will later see when we're finished with it, that black yarn melts in so well, not only with the rhinestones, also with the black material underneath. So that's what I suggest. Now coming towards the end, I will cut my rhinestone tape off here approximately 1 centimeter longer, because I'm going to slide it into my hole where I also put the end of the zipper in. So I cut it through, push it inside that hole, make sure it's lying correctly underneath, and that makes a beautiful ending there, while I now continue just stitching the rhinestone band, the rhinestone tape down. And for the other side, I make it real easy for myself as I just turn it around up here. Now I push the ending of my rhinestone band into my hole that I got approximately 1 centimeter, and again I will have my foot running against the zipper teeth that are there, and I can stitch all the way down to the bottom. And on the bottom it's really easy now as well, because there I cut it 1 centimeter shorter than my actual length is, so I can do my back stitching exactly on the leftover part from the zipper on the bottom. Okay, we got 2 sleeves, so let's do exactly the same job to the other sleeve as well. And then I go back to my normal sewing machine, my industrial sewing machine, which is my favorite, as you know. And I take my facing part, which are already prepared, and stitch it on 1 centimeter along the bottom. And that seam allowance I put towards my facing and stitch on top of the facing once all the way through on about 1 millimeter width, because that makes it easy later on to roll it over. Now all I have to do is closing my sleeve, the sleeve seam from bottom to top. My seam is lying towards the bottom because that's the way I stitched it down now this moment, and I don't need to finish off my seams because my material doesn't rip out whatsoever. It's a really good material. So I bend over the bottom of my sleeve, and all I have to do now is put some little stitches in it, so it's practically finished. And that, my friends, is all what you got to do. That's how easy it is to create a total new, different design, your design in this case, because you make the decision which material you choose, which zipper lengths, which zippers colors, which stones or pearls you're going to use. And it's quickly done, believe me. And of course, I called it a blind vent. But if you have a stretchy material like I got here, you still have the possibility of closing the zipper on your arm if you wish. So it's not really a blind one. I was a bit cheating there on my saying to you about this. So I will say goodbye to you right now. I hope you give me some comments from wherever you are in the world, because I love to read where, in which country you're watching me from. I kindly ask you, stay healthy, come around again. I would really appreciate it and love it. And I very much hope you enjoyed my video. So take care and goodbye with many greetings from Germany. See you around. See you next time. Bye bye.